Hi, I'm Faith.
And I'm Neysa. And this is
Go Ladies, a podcast about navigating life, love,
and so much more
from a 40-plus perspective. Let me hear you say scrub the ground.
Scrub the ground.
And let me hear you say scrub the ground.
Scrub the ground.
Hi. Okay.
Hi, people.
Hi, we missed y'all.
We have.
Yeah. Well, it's, life's been lifing. But before we get into it, we need you to like, subscribe. Right. Comment, share, all the things. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google, everywhere you listen to podcasts is where we are. So make sure you do that right now.
Right now.
Now.
Okay. What are we going to start with today?
The theme of the show is the Freaknik. Which is like a follow-up. We gave you like the prequel.
The 90s.
We gave you the 90s.
All the time.
Right. Yeah.
It was the best of time.
It was
the worst
yes,
of time.
that's what you said. Yes. So, that's kind of the theme of the show. But,
So for those who have been under a rock,
yeah,
the Freaknik documentary dropped, Thursday?
I forget the day.
Last week.
But it's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
And I watched it first thing that morning. Got up, hit it on.
Neysa, what? Neysa don't, she sleep, but then she wake up before Jesus. And I get a text, I saw it. I was like, already? Right. Yeah, go ahead.
I get up early, y'all.
And watch Freaknik documentary.
You do your me time your way. I do mine my way. So
round and round we go.
Exactly. So
yes.
I did. I got up and I turned it on. I was like, let me see what they're talking about over here. And so turned it on and I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. Overall, I give it like 7-8 documentary wise. Okay. But I did learn a lot about the history, and I did not know that the DC heads started Freaknik.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting for something that's so Atlanta. Mm-hmm. That it started about the DC folks. So it's like, okay, come on now. Yeah. And the name.
Yes.
How it wasn't even nasty.
It wasn't even nasty. Thanks, Uncle Luke.
Talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Talk about that man in a minute.
It wasn't, because they're maybe late 50s, 60s now? Because it said 83.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That wasn't... I did like that piece. I'm glad that they had the OGs in it. Because a lot of times these documentaries will not even acknowledge or they'll gloss over it.
This, though. The first verse we heard, wasn't it 21 Savage?
Yes.
I'm like, how 21 Savage?
Was he born?
Like...
I don't think he was born.
Like, I don't...
I know.
But all right. So,
yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, I appreciate them having the old school people in there and really them giving their perspective about why they created it. Because, look, people don't understand, and we should, because inflation high right now.
Come on.
I ain't got no money right now.
Listen.
But I remember being in college, and broke in 1980, 1990 is much different than broke now.
Come on.
A bundle of hair.
Come on.
Like a loaf of bread.
Yes.
I do a bundle of hair.
A bundle of hair.
The hair store was $26. And that was high. It was $26. How much is the ponytail? You guys try to negotiate.
The microwave ponytail.
Girl, microwave ponytail came in handy. They were in the documentary.
Hey, hello.
And now a bundle of hair is what? Minimum 120.
Yeah.
So I get the fact that broke feels very different.
Right.
This broke. I remember being in college. My mom sending me $35 in a check, and I'm like, I just gonna make it. I'm like, now my kids like $35 dinner.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they spoiled.
Yeah.
But
absolutely. Yes.
So I appreciate its humble beginnings.
Yes.
Where it was just a vibe, good time, some hot dogs, some hamburgers.
Right.
It was not for the gram.
No. And they talk about
Nobody
that.
had to get a makeup artist.
Right.
To get just, before you
Right. Yes.
All you had to do was get you some finger waves and a French roll. And you was ready.
French roll. And well, speaking of the hair, like a full set was $25.
Girl.
Like
Full set.
Yes. Yeah.
If you had it real good, you had one of them stacks. You know, like the stack. Come on now. And it lasted all week. It didn't move.
Oh my gosh.
It lasted all week.
It was hard. They talked about that in the documentary. The hair was hard.
She said you can't walk around pump it up.
You did.
In the pink, white, and black bottle. Showed it.
Thank you. I know about that bottle.
Yes.
Yes, you did. And I like that they look, I don't want to say look, but they look like college students. Obviously, as culture shifts, looks change, all that. But back then, they still look like young ladies. The clothing wasn't as whatever provocative, if you will, which is okay too. But even, I liked how we were talking about Rashida before we start recording, but you had like short shorts, then you had coochie cutters, just the difference in the length of a short.
And now Abercrombie and Fitch got them little panty shorts that look like my briefs that I wear to bed. So I'm like, what is this?
I don't know.
People don't wear pants anymore. That's another whole nother show. But
for the 40 plus crowd, which is what we talk about. But yeah, they don't wear pants anymore.
Like, when did pants become outlawed?
I got pants.
I mean, but seriously, Beyonce wore that little leotard first.
Okay.
And then everyone's got a leotard and a pantyhose. Like, where the pants?
To your point, Beyonce's performing. She's not outside with that on. She is on stage.
Dancers wear stuff.
Yeah, you're on stage.
On stage, but
you're not just...
You at the Kroger.
Right.
Why can't I see your lady at the Kroger?
You selling ass.
Right.
There's prostitution happening at Kroger.
Girl. And I don't want to like a prude because Lord knows, if the Lord bless me with the body, I'm going to be like little Kim at work with a fur coat on and a bikini. Looking like what? This ain't appropriate.
First of all that ass, you can do that now. But nevertheless, bow. Freaknik.
Yes.
So we told the story about how God blocked it.
You didn't get to go.
You didn't get to go. I was not of age, and it was over with.
She's the baby of the 40 group.
I am the baby. And it was over with by the time I wanted to go because, for me, a lot of my peers, my friends, we had older siblings.
Yeah.
So, we're hearing their stories or they're going. So it's something I looked forward to. I'm like, I'm going to go to the Freaknik. And I never got to go. Now, I had my one friend who her big brother got her a t-shirt. So she going to wear the t-shirt to school like she went. And I was like, you ain't go to Freaknik. Your brother got you that.
You a hater.
I was. And she was like, and I'm like, you didn't go.
But she got a shirt.
She got a t-shirt.
Your brother get you
My brother didn't give me no t-shirt. I was upset.
What shirt was it? The airbrush t-shirt, or was it the one with all the people's pictures on it?
It wasn't all it was like one that was, it was like a caricature, had like a thought bubble, and it was like Freaknik 9, I don't know what year, but it was,
okay.
Yeah. I wanted a shirt. But I looked forward to it. I was like, I'm gonna go. And yeah.
A lot of people I know after the documentary aired have been posting their thoughts about Freaknik.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I know remember it very fondly. Like one of my line sisters even said it was one of the reasons she moved to Atlanta. Not Freaknik itself, but just be Atlanta was the mecca.
Yeah.
People call Howard the mecca, but Atlanta really was the best of blackness in the United States.
Yeah.
And so I remember even as a child, we took a family trip to Atlanta, and I saw a lady who was a housekeeper in a hotel. Had the uniform on and everything.
I remember you telling me.
But she had the French rolls and the pearls in her hair. I said, even down here, the housekeeper be fly. This is what and
you remember that.
I remember it registered with me. I was like, everybody in here stepping, and like, I don't feel othered in Atlanta.
That's true.
Now, I know there's an economic disparity in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
And Georgia's Georgia, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Stacey should have won that, girl. You should have won.
Come on.
But beyond that, Atlanta has always been kind of that place that's like, what we could be. You know? So.
Wakanda.
Pause for a second.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize, though, that some people, primarily racist, use the "we could be Atlanta" as their call to action. I heard that in some circles here in Nashville. They're like, we're growing so big, we don't want to be Atlanta. And I'm like,
what's wrong with Atlanta?
Like, explain that.
Right. What you trying to say?
Are you saying traffic?
Right. What are you trying to say?
Or are you saying the diversity of Atlanta? And, a lot of times they go, the infrastructure, blah, blah, blah.
They try to backpedal. And what they mean. Right. They're never going to say it to your face.
I hear you.
Exactly.
I see you and I hear you. But yeah.
We read between the lines.
All day.
I will say, and I know we joke and kid about things, but for me, living in Detroit, this wasn't a bad thing with the documentary, but it's more, obviously it's Southern Atlanta. So I already had the Black excellence.
You did.
So and I love Atlanta. I've been going since the 80s. But for me, I was kind of like, well, that's not quite my story. Like black people do everything in Detroit. So I know it wasn't a dissing but for me, that just wasn't my take on it.
Yeah.
But I could see someone who is constantly around people who don't look like you. Right. Yeah.
Because you grew up in North Wakanda.
I did. I love that. North Wakanda. Right. So I didn't need that. But it does, I totally get the sentiment and coming from where you are from and other people and seeing all these Black people thriving
but because you grew up in North Wakanda, we've had conversations before about how you yearn for Wakanda and Wakanda people.
That's true.
That's why you love Memphis so much.
I do love Memphis
because it feels like
it feels like home.
It feels like home.
Yeah.
Whereas I, who grew up in the Caucasus Mountains,
you did.
Well, I was like, oh, it's Wakanda.
Right.
We here,
Yeah.
And I loved it, and so I
love that it provides that for a lot of Black folks.
Yeah.
I do. I still love going to Atlanta. Yes, traffic is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's ATL. What? Like, I'm guaranteed a good time whenever I go to Atlanta. Just got to get through the traffic.
That is true. That is true. And it's been a very welcoming place for my child to stretch her wings. I think for me to go straight from Kentucky to ATL would have been a bit of a culture shock. Even though I went to HBCU, it'd have been a little bit much.
Yeah.
I did all of my adulting in Nashville, and Nashville was bigger than Louisville at the time. At least my world of Louisville.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is perfect, like a mid-ground for me. But yeah, I still love the ATL. Okay. The old school underground.
Oh, I did make it to the underground.
I love the underground.
I saw India Arie at the underground. She wasn't performing. I was just like, oh my God.
I love India Arie. That'd been great.
I got caught red at the underground too. I know you hate that.
I hate being caught red.
Back to the other episode when nobody was paying me attention, it made my day. So I was like, oh, I have arrived. I got caught red.
I really actually hate being called any body attribute.
Yeah.
Red, green eyes, I don't like any of it.
Yeah. So. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I wouldn't pay attention to it. I'd be like, huh? Because I'm in my own world. Like, I'm like, huh? Yeah. But yes.
Okay, so back to the documentary.
Okay, hit it.
Of course, we know Freaknik started off as this picnic for those that could not travel home, which is what I was saying about finances.
Right. College students specifically.
Right. You could not just travel home for every break back then. So you had to spend a lot of time at your college campuses. So they had their own fun, which was really because the other spring break places that were even closer weren't welcoming.
No. No.
There's a reason there's Martha's Vineyard and Oak Bluffs and all these different places. There's a reason for that. It's because people don't feel welcome. They don't feel celebrated. They feel othered. They feel like their presence there is not warranted, even though they're spending big money.
Exactly.
And so That was how Panama City and a lot of things are.
Yeah.
Even this year with Miami saying, we don't want you here.
Yeah, I can't come here.
And it's like, but y'all do a whole lot down there in Miami.
Come on.
But you don't want us.
You don't want us. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. So I get the fact that them starting their own thing that was more economically feasible in their backyard. Yeah. Still a good time. Still a good vibe. And then the 90s happened.
And then the 90s.
It's like behind the music.
I know.
And then the 90s happened.
And then the 90s happened. And I know you, as a college, I have to keep in mind, too, they were young. So, no, you're
19
not.
19 to 22.
Yeah. You're not thinking it's going to morph into what it became. You're just not. You just know you can't get home or you don't want to go home. And you kicking it. And, yeah. So, then the 90s happened.
I have big vision for this show.
Absolutely.
I have big vision a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think people can have an inkling of big vision, but they hope, but really have no idea.
Absolutely.
Oprah didn't know Oprah's going to be Oprah.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever designed Freaknik didn't know it was going to morph into
you don't.
Traffic jam and all the things that it morphed into.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think that people ever know how things are going to.
No, you don't.
Heck, for our sorority, 22 women didn't know.
Right.
You know.
Come on, what a word!
How great,
I see you.
know.
I felt that.
But you don't know. You try to do good things right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hope that it bears fruit.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the spirit of that team. Like, I'm just gonna do good things right now.
Yeah.
Because they were all gonna graduate too.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like they were gonna hand it down. You know.
Right.
We doing this
right now.
I'm a graduate
for us, and whoever want to come, you can come.
Right. Cool. You know. But then it kept going.
It kept going.
And then 90s came.
And then the 90s.
And 90s just took it up a notch.
Can I just say, when they talked about one of the cars being the Suzuki Sidekick, I wanted a Suzuki Sidekick. And then you get older and you learn, like, that car is made of plastic. Like, it's a horrible car. But I was like, oh, I want one because everybody got one. Anyways, I'm sorry. I did. That was my car.
It's hilarious. That is funny.
I did. Yes, sorry.
You wanted that car.
I did. I wanted to hang out the car.
It followed.
God knew when to have me be born, basically, because I don't think I'd be before you now if I was born in the 70s.
Like Fantasia said, to God
be the glory. I'm just saying.
Seriously.
He knows what he's doing.
He does.
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, we gotta stay focused. We're
focus. Freaknik.
So
90s.
90s.
Yeah. Your jam.
And the world changed. The world changed.
Yeah.
It's not just Freaknik changed.
Right.
The world changed. And the world reflected Freaknik, and Freaknik reflected the world.
Yeah.
Shiny Suit Man, Diddy, Bad Boy. We went from La Freak and Freak Out to, you know, Bad Boy and all that. And so as things evolved, we also evolved. You know, I went from I Need Love to Mace. You know, so as that happens and fashions change and
yeah,
there was a new era of, I want to say, female embracing of sexuality.
Yeah, I definitely, especially in the documentary, I did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
Okay.
And here's why. Throughout history, we women have been primarily utilized as accessories for men. Yep. Right? Yeah. Our existence was predicated on what we can do to serve men who are in a patriarchal and powerful position. Then the 90s came, and look him.
90s came.
You know, but seriously, I mean, feminism, all those things.
It was all, it's
always been these steps, right? There's always been these steps. But it came like a flood because change never happens as a flood. Right. Change happens in drips, drips, and then the flood comes. Yes. And you're like, where does this come from? You're like, we started to drip in 70-something, 60-something actually. But you're feeling it really right now. Yeah. So that's why I said, and then Little Kim came. And we had women, MCs, talking about sexuality. Yes. In a I own me manner. Not as in a what I can do for you, but I own me manner. Yeah. So we embraced it. Right? I get to make some decisions.
Oh, Lord.
I get to say what
Exactly.
This is new.
Yes.
And so because of that, that was expressed through song.
It was.
Clothing. Dance. All these things. And so as that changed, I will say that I don't think that we were well thought out in the response to that by our male counterparts. And for the backlash to that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But it was what it was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we have conversations about all kinds of things
yes.
that we would never have if we didn't have those moments. You know, the pendulum has to swing and then kind of come back, you know? And so I think that that's one of the reasons you saw this shift in a more sexually charged environment.
Yeah.
Because the stigma of good girl was kind of pulled off.
Right.
You know? Because we all grew up with that, you know. You want to be the good girl. You don't want to be the hoe. You don't want to be this, that. And then it was like, hoes be winning. And hoe is life and whatever else. And,
hoe is life.
And that's not a mantra celebrating hoes.
Right, yeah.
That's a mantra celebrating the fact that I'm a sexual being too.
Yes.
And what you classify as hoe for me doesn't mean I have to wear that.
Right.
Because everybody's definition of hoe is different.
Right.
And it depends on how many people you had sex with. You know, you had sex with nobody. A hoe is somebody you had sex with too. But if you've been outside a little bit, you know, if you can count on your fingers and toes, you a hoe. You know,
is you a hoe? You know you a hoe.
So
okay.
That's just, you know, some of those things that come through in those conversations, and you see it played out in the documentary as the dress changed.
Yes.
As the dancing changed.
Well, yes.
As the reaction changed.
So, yeah. I have a question for you. It's a dumb question, but it's okay. I don't want to say dumb.
No dumb questions here.
Clearly, as you said, I'm on the younger side of 40, so Freaknik, it was still going on when I was at least in high school. I was like freshman, sophomore. Was it truly, because there's no social media, word of mouth? Is that, I'm questioning, I guess, like all the HBCUs that kind of caught wind of it. And not saying you can speak for them, but obviously Nashville is closer to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But what started out as Atlanta-centric became HBCU and then became something else. But just, was it, you're hearing people that go every year and they're like, girl, you got to go to the Freaknik. Again, no email thread, no text messages, none of that. None of that.
No flyer even. I didn't see a flyer for a Freaknik.
Okay. I'm just curious how.
Here's what happened. And they touched on it a bit in the documentary.
Okay.
Most HBCUs have city clubs.
Okay. Yep, you're right. They did. Okay.
And I think, I wasn't there, but I think the city clubs grew out of the necessity of people trying to find rides back and forth to their home when you don't have a lot of money. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to be part of the Kentucky club. You know, we didn't really have no club, but the Kentucky club, we didn't.
I can't stand you. Yes.
And then I know everybody who's from Kentucky who goes to TSU.
Okay.
So that way when it's time to go home for spring break, who got a car? Okay. Can I ride with you? Okay. You know, that kind of thing. So when the Atlanta folk, because if you come to TSU, it's a lot of Atlanta, a lot of Chicago, a lot of Memphis. Memphis is number one, but you know. And they're talking about Freaknik. Okay. And they're your classmates, they're your friends. Right. Whatever. So, we going. You know? Okay. We going. And I didn't get to go. But
God blocked it.
Right. But I think that's the way that the word of mouth really got, you know, out there. I mean, even party flyers. There were party flyers. Right. Wasn't no glossy, wasn't no cardstock. You was just fancy if you got colored paper.
It was black and white.
Okay. I showed my daughter some party flyers from us in college. Yeah. And they were like, for real? It was an elephant come to the party. Somebody had to draw that much.
Listen.
It gave me a Sharpie so the line will be thick. And we're going to write on it. We're going to type on it a little bit. With a typewriter.
Y'all white out.
My application for Delta was on a typewriter. Let me tell you. Evolution. So, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious how because you were in it, if you will.
Yeah,
You were in college, and that you were the target audience.
Word of mouth.
Okay.
Word of mouth. And then, you know, they'll tell you when it's going to be. Oh, okay, cool. You know?
Yeah.
That's how you made plans for it.
Okay. That's just curious.
Yeah.
I like how the people just, and with any group, just hop in the car and go. Like those two. First of all, can I just shout out Jalen Rose, who's from Detroit? I love me some Jalen Rose. He just is a cool dude. And he's like lately in all these documentaries. Jalen was everywhere, apparently. Yeah, we just hopped in the car. He won the car at the dice game. I'm like, what?
First of all, let's get no names about the dice game. Do y'all pay taxes on that? I'm just saying, the feds still be watching, and the feds have a long memory.
They do.
You gotta be quiet.
They did. I was like,
he dropped the name. I said, don't be dropping the name.
He did. The daddy name, his friend Daddy had the. I was like, dang. And then he got the car, and then they drove to Atlanta.
The next day. You ain't got no reservation, no nothing. But y'all down here, okay.
That part for me is what I love. The freeness, if you will, of being a college student, a young adult. You don't quite know. You think you know, but you don't know. And you like, we just gonna go and figure it out. And that's what a lot of them did. Like, no, we don't have reservations. We didn't book ahead. We don't have dinner reservation. We're just gonna go.
And see what happens.
There's a freeness to that. Now it's like, oh God, no, you have to have the plan and the thing. But back then,
the way my back is set up, I need a reservation.
You need accommodations, yes. But back then,
my mama called me bougie this week.
Oh,
she was like, "You too good for the air mattress?" I am. I am.
My body is too
I'm not too good
it.
for anything.
Right.
But when I don't have to do it, why do I have to do it?
Come on.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like if I did not have the money and I was taking out a loan to do it, then of course this is fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely. You don't have to.
No.
That's not being bougie.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, there's something to be said for just that wanderlust, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just interesting. Now, I've never been one to just lay anywhere.
Lay.
Your head on my pillow. But I've never been one to just do that. Like, I like to know, give me at least I'm a planner.
Right.
Give me at least a modicum of a plan.
Right.
Start and sleep here. We can figure out the rest, the itinerary, all those things. But I need some. Right. Those are my basics I need to have before I come in the car with anybody.
And that's been the case
for you. That's been the case for me.
Yeah, because even hearing that, and obviously guys think differently than women do. But, when he was like, hopefully you link up with a girl or a girl link up with you and you got somewhere to stay. And I'm like.
But that's also broke boy behavior. Because you were counting on the girls taking better preparations so you can come wash your tail in their hotel room. Like, that's called hobosexual.
That is nowadays has a name. Yeah,
it's hobosexual.
Yeah, you didn't plan that. Yeah. You just hopped in the car and came to Atlanta. Jeez.
$2.
With $2.
In the number 2 at McDonald's. We're going to share with somebody.
Looking at the documentary and thinking about it now, obviously being 40 plus, I'm like, I'm producing the event in my. I'm like, if I was there, it could be more organized, and they could do this and have this activity. And
no,
but I know that's not what it was. You just went and it was a free for all. But I'm like,
they tried it here.
Oh yeah.
So a couple years ago, they did a Freaknik theme party in the park, and my daughter went. It was fine until they got the shooting, but it was fine for a while. And then the next year, they were having it again. But the location was going to be a surprise. They didn't have no location. They chose a well-populated road.
Very.
To have Freaknik on. Now, you can't just do that here.
Permits, you have.
Right.
Yeah.
They just just going to pull up.
Yeah, no.
And have it right here in this road.
Because that's what they did in Atlanta in the 90s.
Like, no.
Yeah.
It did not work. Folks got dispersed very quickly from that. But I'm just like, no. And even the Freaknik people who did it, yes, there was overflow and there's all this extra traffic. Yeah. But they actually did have events and permits for some of the things. It wasn't just like a free-for-all. There were actual events that, you just
Yeah.
Parking lot pimping instead, but there were events.
Right. I love that they spoke to some of the people who really were Atlanta natives who were like, we gonna take vacation. Like I don't want to be involved in it. I can't get to work. I can't get home from work. Like, I live here every day. Like, those are real concerns and real issues too, So me being older, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, they couldn't go get their money.
Kentucky's like that with Derby. I know people who leave Louisville for Derby.
Oh, I believe it.
They rent their house out. Like,
yeah,
let me go on out.
Yeah,
and just go away and come on back. Or think about TSU's homecoming. If you're not in the know, you don't understand why traffic is so bad.
Yeah.
But we here.
Yeah.
And we having a good time.
Yeah.
And if you have a business on Jefferson Street, during homecoming, you're going to make a lot of money. But it's going to be primarily foot traffic.
Yeah.
Because Jefferson Street's going to be just gridlocked,
Yeah.
And so now Jefferson Street embraces it because Jefferson Street's ours.
Right. Yeah.
But as Jefferson Street changes, will they always understand that?
Right.
So
that's
it's
real.
going to be interesting to see. Yeah. But I get it. Like, so as now looking back, I'm like, I don't like traffic. So that would piss me off.
Right. Absolutely.
I would not drive 4 hours from Nashville.
Come on.
To sit on the interstate on I-75, listen to music, talk to the boy in the car next to me.
With a snake.
Right. Girl, you know I ain't that. I ain't got that for me.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not, it was a good time. No, it was not.
Yeah.
Get these carbon monoxide exhaust fumes.
So you say that now. You're 20, so you're like, whatever.
Whatever. I don't know what.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You high.
I'm about to die.
Right. You high. Ain't no water in this car. You ain't peed in 2 hours. Like, Had a good bladder back then.
All right. Hello. What you said. I know. Yeah.
Now, let's fast forward to Uncle Luke.
Oh, okay. I was waiting. You leading. Go ahead. Put your hands up. Drop your bed down and drop it up to the floor.
Luke is the voice of strip clubs, right?
Yes.
He's the voice of strip clubs. There is a lane for him.
Luke created all of he.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a sound. Like, again, I think if T-Pain has a very distinctive sound, Luke has a very distinctive sound. What I didn't like is that Luke is still
a dirty old man. What?
Yeah.
A dirty old man is what I said.
That's the that's it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say unrepentant, but dirty old man. And unrepentant, a dirty old man who's unrepentant.
Yeah.
So, sidebar for a second.
Okay.
I was looking at Eddie Murphy, who did an interview a couple years ago about how some of his work doesn't stand up to today.
Right. Yeah.
And people were like, no, it's classic, it's this and it's that. It can be classic and still not stand up to today.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Slavery does not stand up to today, but it was the way of the land in 1864. I think that Luke could own the fact that he contributed to the culture,
right?
But also own some of the pains that came from that as well.
True.
And he doesn't.
No.
That's how I feel about him. He doesn't own it.
Okay.
And it's just like, dude, he's like, yeah, we turned it up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. He's like, he brought the freaks to Freaknik.
Yeah. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a problem for me. And also with Freaknik changing. Now we have the Uncle Luke element.
Right.
Now we have the sexual liberation that's being played out in women, right? Add to that the ick factor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to you about this.
We talked about it.
That I like cupcakes. So I go where cupcakes are because I like cupcakes. I like HBCUs. So I go where HBCUs are. You go where the things that you like are.
Yes.
There are perverts and sexual offenders who go where they can get away with those crimes. That's why I'm never surprised about, it was the coach of the softball team who did this. Well, pedophiles go where they can do pedo shit. That's just...
Yes. Yeah.
That's what happens. So I'm not surprised that these grown-ass men...
Yeah.
were coming to Atlanta as part of Freaknik too, to prey on women.
Okay.
And people were like, "Oh, well, what? No. These are offenders.
Yeah.
These aren't boys having fun.
Right.
These aren't boys just being boys.
Yeah.
This is offenders who have in their plan to come and do this, you know? So I totally lay a lot of that at Luke's feet, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I think that the culture then made that sexual liberation unsafe for women, which made that rubber band snap back, the pendulum swing back. It's like, okay, we want to be free. I want to own this. I want to do this. Do I have to die for it?
Right.
Do I have to get raped for it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I want to be able to have fun too.
exactly.
Without being assaulted.
Exactly. So
Yeah, I get it.
I personally think that he is still a poster child for that kind of culture.
Okay. I don't know that I have anything to say back to that.
I'm sorry.
I will say this. And it's an unpopular opinion. When you actually listen to lyrics of certain songs I love. I listen to gospel and some nasty, very nasty songs. And I'm dancing and I'm what, you know, now that I'm older and I listen to certain lyrics and I'm like, oh, and sometimes with culture, I don't know, I'm not going to say it right. Behavior models sometimes what you're hearing or what's being pumped into you, whether you're aware of it or not. And for me, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, but when I'm looking at just some of the earlier clips of Freaknik, and yes, music has always been a thing.
Yes.
But then you bring in the Uncle Luke's, and I'm not putting it on, you know, and you have all sides who you hearing men do this, which you shouldn't be doing. And I'm not saying women should. I'm not going to say should or shouldn't be doing.
Right.
But I always question the soundtrack to certain things when certain things happen, as opposed to hearing certain songs that, you know, or words that are loving or whatever versus we dealing drugs and whatever. Because sometimes I be dealing drugs in the car, but I don't really be dealing drugs. But I can tell in my actions how I'm driving. Like, oh, bitch, you need to slow down. You're not really on the run. Like, it's just like no one's after you. Like, but I'm in the car, like, they ain't coming to get me. So
I just, you going to work.
But I just wonder. I know I'm going to work.
Right.
But I just, with the Uncle Luke piece, I'm interested to see that piece because I'm a music person.
Yeah.
The musicology, even the name of Freaknik being from chic, and that wasn't the original intent to be free. Yeah. Like, you know. I'm just always curious to see that timeline, like what the shift, what that looks like. I don't have the answers, but I'm just curious to the role that soundtracks play in the fabric of things and what we do.
That's a slippery slope.
And
I think that's a slippery slope. I think that's Tipper Gore. And I don't think you want to be Tipper Gore.
I don't want to be Tipper. That's why I was very clear. I listen to the shit. Like, I'm not, trust me.
And here's why I say it's Tipper Gore. Tipper Gore is like, the rap was mess up the kids, right? Gotta put these stickers on it. I have no problem with the stickers, honestly, because you should know what your children listen to. So that doesn't bother me.
Right.
However, art imitates life and life imitates art. It is a circle and a cycle.
Yeah.
I don't think one pushes the other.
Okay.
I think that they reflect each other.
Okay.
And as things progress and change, that cycle continues and it progresses and changes. And so, do I think that Luke's music amplified it? Yes. Do I think that the life was already going that direction, which made it conducive and a fertile ground for the music? Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean.
Can be true. And so,
and he's the poster child for the sticker.
Exactly.
Like, that was his whole court case and all of that.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. I don't know. I feel like that. I think there's a time and a place for all the music. Again,
absolutely.
Last week I said, if you are a racist, you do racist whatever music.
Yeah.
I will adamantly defend your right to make it.
Right.
I will not listen to it. And I will not support it.
Yeah.
I will adamantly defend your right to make it. Because you don't spend. I ain't making love to the upper room.
No, you
know. Come on in the room.
I mean, it might feel like you're going.
I'm not playing that.
What?
I'll take my drawers off.
No, you're
like
if we're wearing drawers.
Right. So I'm not doing that. So there's a time and a place for the different variations and types of music.
I agree.
You know,
I just always wondered that, because music obviously is also a character in the documentary. If you will.
is.
They talked about the Atlanta sound, the Dungeon Family, Outkast, all of that coming into play
as well.
Yes. Oh, Dungeon Family is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you had Jermaine Dupri in there and all that. So I'm always going to be fascinated. Neysa knows this. I love music.
We love music.
So I'm always going to be interested in the role that music and creatives played in culture.
Yeah.
So
I was appreciative that as they got towards the end of the documentary, talk about sexual assault, talking about some things that were more risque.
Yeah.
They did blur faces.
I was happy for that. Not happy, but I'm with you.
I just felt that was really respectful.
They didn't just outright show.
Right.
Yes.
I thought that was very respectful and very tasteful.
Yeah.
To the people that were involved in all of that. I think that was, really good. And the woman who was sexually assaulted, who talked about it.
Yes.
Number one, she's brave as hell.
Yeah.
Number two, I think she's also distanced herself from it.
For sure.
And you can tell that there's a disassociation.
Absolutely.
Which is probably out of self-care, right? But I did feel that when I watched it, because I was just like, what? And you would hope. But I can't say I even hope that much, because I know mob mentality is real. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We are seeing it played out right now in parts of the world. Yeah. I mean, the worst case scenario is the othering of black people, right? And we've seen it with the othering of Native Americans. We've seen it with, the Holocaust and with Rwanda and all these things where, heck, with 45, where if I say that this person is no longer human, people latch onto that and then do atrocities. Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand how, I guess I do understand, how nobody can come to the defense of someone that they see as being attacked. Male or female.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Male or female. Yeah. And I don't understand that. Like, you can't do that next to me. Right. And get away with it. Yeah. You can't. And I get that as a female, by me hopping in there, I'm probably going to get assaulted as well. I totally recognize that. That's part of the train of thought when you're thinking about these things. But that care for each other. Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, I was at an airport once, and there was a young girl there, and this guy was sitting next to her, and we were like, who that? He was trying to engage her in conversation and all the other things. Come to find out that she was actually traveling. There was like another little sister and a mother with them too, and this guy was traveling with them. But until that mama got there, we was all like this. Yeah. Like we're just watching. Right, we're not gonna watch. Like but we gonna make sure everybody's okay. Right. Right. Yeah. And what happened to that? Even now, speaking of the little 22-year-old boy who just died here. Yes. What happened to that care for each other? If you and I go out tonight and I get plastered. Yeah. Plastered. I'm up.
Which isn't happening. But yes, hypothetically, yes.
Up. You're not going to leave me to my own devices.
No. I'm driving you home.
Even if you're having a great time and don't want to leave.
Yeah, the party's over.
The next day I'm gonna hear about it. I was having a good time.
I was having fun.
It just was in the corner, and here you are with your drunk ass.
I was listening to Uncle Luke.
I love you. I'm bringing you home. I know I'm gonna hear about it, right? I almost had his number, and he was looking crazy, so I had to take you home. But I'm gonna hear about it. I'm about to buy some gifts, a little brunch or something, make it better. But I'm gonna hear about it. But it's okay.
You live to tell the story. Yeah. 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 You live. Yeah. I don't we come together, we leave together. It's really simple for us. I don't understand.
Bad boys for life. So you sound like bad boys for life. We ride together. We die together.
I mean, we do. Yeah. We take care of each other. That's gotta pick your circles closely.
Seriously.
Do better. Throughout life, and you're gonna meet people, and some people fall off. Some people are for a season. Amen. But my hope is that I am around people who listen. I've had to have people take care of me when I've been drunk. So and I'm here today.
Yeah. Yeah. Been there, done that.
You know, but yeah,
No. Well, my daughter, I told you this right before the show started. When my daughter traveled out of the country, I told her point blank, whoever goes with you, if you don't make it back, they shouldn't come back either.
Yeah.
Because it's their ass if they do.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens to you. If you come back with a stub toe, a broke ankle, you drown in the water, you whatever, they better not come back without you.
Yeah.
Because if so, they will not be for this world much longer. And I don't feel no ounce of crazy saying it. Like, I feel like real peaceful.
No, yeah.
Like, and it just is what it is.
No.
And,
Yeah.
and she made it back. She's safe and everything's well.
Absolutely.
But,
yeah.
Because...
You going with a group. And he's, I mean, like, we talked about the young man here, and then you talked about it was Mexico or wherever, the group. And the family has no closure, and the friend, like, I'm like... Be careful who you call friend. Everybody's not your friend. You can't travel with everybody. You can't. You just... No. Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah. Baby girl's learning that more and more. Because you know how it is when you're young. My group of friends are 30 deep. Yeah. It really ain't. It really ain't. No. You just don't know yet that it ain't. Right. But it really isn't. No. Everybody's not trying to go where you're going. In a spiritual, emotional, professional, any kind of way. Yeah. They're just not always trying to go where you're going. Right. And that's okay. Yeah. I wish you well on your journey. Right. But you're not going to derail mine. No. So, yeah. Not at all. Yeah. Circle gets smaller. Which I like. Like, my real friends have my mama phone number. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I have your mama's number. Like, that's a real friend. That's family at that point. Yes. Like, called my child before the show. She goes, "Hi, Miss Faith." But I like how you say it's Neysa instead of it's your mama. Like, I know. She know your name. She knows my name. Yeah. But so yeah, Freaknik. That's live to tell the tale. Were you there? Were you at Freaknik? We'll put that in the poll. I like that. Were you there? I've seen a lot of people post pictures though. Yeah. Now in the wake, like they're like, I was there, and this was, look at us, you know, some sorors, some people, you know. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's funny. Someone, I shall not name this name, but it's a person I know who is now a minister of music for a church, and her Freaknik pictures look very different than her new life pictures. Yeah. But they should, right? Yes. They should. You were 20. It was different. It was a whole different vibe, you know? I love that. Yes. You lived. You had a life before kids, marriage, whatever that looks like, career, all of that. You're human. We're human. I want to live a life well lived, and this is part of the story. Yes. So. Yeah. You better put those chapters in the book and keep it pushing. Freaknik. Which I like. Okay, and I know we're going to close because we can go forever. I like how it talked about birthing a lot of the music festivals and things you see now. You know, I think that's really cool because now, you know, those festivals or whatnot, you have the organization, you know, with those, and you have different activations and you bring people in. And I don't know how I feel about the revamped Freaknik though. That the guy, he did have the business savvy to buy the name. So I'm not knocking the hustle. Yeah. I just don't think you can capture it again. I agree. Oh, what was it? Kenny Burns at the very end, like gets up and walks off. And he's like, stop. It was, some things cannot be replicated. Yeah. And there are no do-overs. And so, and that's okay. Make something new. Yeah. That's, you know, for this generation. Yeah. But we don't have to do another Freaknik. Now you can pay homage, little theme party. That, you know, which people do. Yeah. People do that. But you can't capture that lightning in a bottle again. Yeah. I think primarily because we think that we're supposed to be there too a little bit. And we're not. Right. We're old. We on the jazz cruise. Come on. The Tom Joyner cruise. We on that now. Old. Yeah. So we let it go and get it to the next generation. I agree. So that's good. Yeah. We didn't talk about 96 Olympics, but it's okay. People know what happened. I know. Was that like Boom Go or Boom? The bombing. You know, black people, boom is, you know. Tasha. Boom. Yes. Okay. That's close us out. What I got to say? Uncle Luke. Which I told you I'd be ratchet and righteous. So.
selling drugs.
What's
What
to go?
what is the to go? Well, we had a poll. I mean, were you at Freaknik? I don't have like a solid to go. I wasn't ready. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like
She's like, I ain't ready. I ain't got
have fun. I think the biggest one, choose your friends wisely. Whether you are just in everyday life, you're going to Target, or you're going to a big festival, you're traveling out the country, whatever. Make sure your circle is well vetted. That really is my to go. Look out for each other. Be kind. Care about each other.
That works for me.
Does that work?
Yes. And make sure to comment and share this with everyone. And let us know for real. Were you there? Show us those pictures. Like, drop those in the chat so we can see the pictures, because I want to see them.
I was a baby.
We know you a baby.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
You're still 40 plus. I don't know why you have to be a baby.
Toss.
Anyway, I'm going to be 65. I'll still be 40 plus. I just got a lot of pluses.
Plus
Okay.
in the plus.
Exponential pluses.
Thank you.
All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.